We pre-plan too much in our lives. If we're anxious people, we want to try to have the perfect move before we go on and do the greatest thing ever. What we need to do is we need to go get started and we need to practice and we need to do stuff every day. My name's Nick Tabor. I'm a personal trainer. I talk about this stuff because I lived through it and I've been through these things before. This question came from my wife right here, Kez, who we just watched a video about somebody who is drawing every day to try to get out of a habit and not be as perfectionist. Now, when you have anxiety or you have depression, or if you've had instances in the past that have caused you to examine yourself over and over again and examine, and say, okay, is this the right step? That sometimes is a PTSD issue, or there are other issues at play. But we watched it, and what was the title of the video?
Oh, uh,
How to Draw Every Day, or something like that.
I think it was the best writing advice.
Yeah, best writing advice you ever had, or best art advice we ever had. So it falls right into everything that we do. And at this time of recording,
Oh, the drawing advice that changed my life.
oh, okay,
Driftless?
yeah. At the time of recording this, it's about mid-January right now. Many folks have already broken their New Year's resolution. And many more people will do so as well. And we are heading towards, statistically, the most depressing day of the year, which might be the day when this is posted. This is January 21st. On January 21st, it's 3 weeks into the new year, and people are like, oh, forget it. There's nothing we can really do. But what we're missing is we're missing momentum. We're missing the big why. Why you got into that thing in the first place. I believe personally, like, purpose comes from your pain. I believe that what we do in our lives, comes from, we want to serve other people and we want to help other people. Like, why even do this channel? Why talk to a camera a couple of days a week and make sure you have a video every day at 7 a.m. to give you some perspective and to help you boost yourself up? Is because this wasn't around. So, like, there was something that we couldn't do. I could not. Well, we didn't have this. Like, I grew up. I'm a '90s baby. We didn't have YouTube. YouTube was, a far distant dream. And I used to have dreams that, if you're old enough that I am, remember when you had those pictures that were printed at the drugstore. I used to have this dream that you could hit a button on those pictures and it would show like 3 or 4 seconds of that particular time that you could remember. Little did I know I was thinking of GIFs, but that's not the point. But what we've got to do is we've got to figure out that big why, or that big thing as to why we're doing what we're doing. I found it because, when I was growing up, I had a lot of pain. I had a lot of particular problems that I wish somebody could have told that 11-year-old kid things are going to be okay, how to get around it, besides just buck up and do what they do. The second thing you need to do is you need to practice every single day. And I agree with this part of the video that, we watched, and at some point, when this is posted, I'll put a link to it because he actually made some decent points. I really liked it. But the video itself stated about, people have to have momentum and they have to be able to do what they do. But first, you got to have a giant why. Why do we do this? Because, A, we're not good at anything else. Possibly. I mean, I know how to motivate. I know how to speak. I know how to be able to share a story. Beyond that, possibly. I mean, maybe some other things. I could cook a really good plate of eggs. or I could cook other things, but I know how to do this, and this is a skill that's going to be able to serve and that's going to be able to help. I could, Kaz here can do drawings that, may be able to help people or tell a story through that may be able to help someone. That's awesome. What we need to do is, after we find the why, is practice at it, but expect to suck. Your first time you do something, you don't know what's going on, you don't know how to feel, you don't know anything about it, but what you're going to do is you're going to feel a little bit better every single day. You're going to feel a little easier about it. You're going to get criticism. People are going to tell you this is right, that's wrong, maybe try this, but eventually that one thing you practice at every day gets a little easier. Just put something aside. Like, I do these videos, we try to do at least once or twice a week, get in there. But what I'm doing every morning is I sit in my office, which is right behind the camera here, and just sit there and just freely write a few ideas or go onto Instagram and ask, what questions does anybody have? And just write down a few ideas and things I want to say and things I want to talk about. Maybe do research on YouTube. But I'm looking at it every day, and people are saying, the ones who watch this channel, like, dude, you're actually getting way better. Like, you're getting better and better and better every day. Your thumbnails are stronger, your speech is better, you're more to the point, which is awesome, which I always struggled with that. But practice every day. Like, I did YouTube videos before that were 20, 30 minutes in length, and that had nothing to do with anything. Hell, but I think what we got to do is just expect to suck. Expect that moment to say, I'm going to be all right. Like, we just need to do it. That way we gain momentum, and that way action gains the momentum, and then you find little things that you're good at. The guy was trying to get a drawing in every day, and he was just, what was the bird he was drawing?
Ibis.
He was drawing an ibis, and he was trying to draw. He did that, and he got very bored. But then, he added a little more. He added a little more political humor, added things about the town and jokes and things, and just kept moving and kept doing it. And just went there from there, just expecting, maybe didn't expect so much, but then found momentum from there. I think that that's the best way to go. I think it's the best way to go. Now, lastly, I want to wrap this up with, since it's a fitness channel, about stuff to do with the gym. You want to get used to going to the gym. You want to do it every day. People I see put a schedule up. But if you're first time going to the gym and you've never worked out before, your best thing to do is to go to that gym every single day and work out for 10 minutes. That's it. Whether you do something when you're on free weights, just doing dumbbell curls, or you hop on on a bike or on a treadmill, walk, bike, run, stair step or whatever, 10 minutes a day for the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And, just, you're not going to get much out of it, but you do it, okay, got my 10, got my 10, got my 10. But what happens is you establish a habit, and you're going to get very curious with what else to do. You're like, okay, well, do I do the weights, other stuff? Get a trainer, get a plan together, and then you could come like maybe 3 days a week, figure something out, or you can go twice a week, figure something out, and then we just keep growing, keep going, keep going. All right, so there's another video that we have just right about there. If you like what we're talking about, feel free to go ahead and leave a comment below. I will see you in the next video, and as always, we climb.